Okay, so in this video, we're going to practice how to solve systems of equations in 3 variables giving 3 equations using a chart. So, to create the chart, you need to list your variables x, y, and z. And the constants after the equal sign. So, we're going to copy down only the coefficients of the variables and not the variables themselves. So for the first equation, x has a 2, y has a negative 5, z has a 1, equals 5. For the second equation, x has a 3, y has a 2, z has a negative 1, and 17. And for the third equation, we have 4, negative 3, 2, 17. Now, the first step to do is, you're going to look at each column separately. Can you find 2 numbers of equal value but opposite signs? Again, 2 numbers with equal values but opposite signs. So 1 is equal to negative 1 but with an opposite sign. So that means I need to use the first and second equation and add them up. So once you add them, 2 plus 3 is 5. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. 5 plus 17 is 22. And that's the new chart. Okay, so let's look at each column again. Can we find any numbers that are equal but opposite signs? Well, the answer is no. So I eliminated z in the first equation because it has a 0. So I need to play with the z. I want them to be equal but opposite signs. So since I've used equation 1 and 2, now I can use either 1 and 3 or 2 and 3. So just by looking at the 2 equations, it's easy to make that negative 1 into a negative 2 by multiplying the whole equation by 2. So I need to multiply the whole equation by 2 so that negative 1 will become a negative 2. Then we'll have 2 equal numbers with the opposite sign. So 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is a 4. Negative 1 times 2 is a negative 2. 17 times 2 is 34. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy the third equation as it is. So 4, negative 3, 2, and 17. So now my second and third equation are ready to be added together. So I'm going to keep my first equation as it is. 5, negative 3, 0, 22. Now I'm going to add both of these equations together. So 6 plus 4 is a 10. 4 minus 3 is a 1. Negative 2 plus 2 is a 0. 34 plus 17 is 51. So that's my new chart. Okay. Now I need to look again at the columns. Now I eliminated z. So now z is out of the picture. So we have 2 variables, x and y, x and y. So now we need to eliminate one of them. So let's look at the columns again. 5 and 10, negative 3 and 1. So nothing can be eliminated. So we need to make one of these equations have the same number. So can I make a 5 into a 10? Yes, by multiplying this top equation by 2. But at the same time, I want it to be a negative 10, so it will have a negative sign. So again, I need these 2 numbers to be the same with an opposite sign. So I need to multiply the top equation by negative 2. So I'm going to get negative 10, 6, 0, negative 44. And then the bottom equation stays the same. Now, I have the same number with the opposite signs. So I can add them and eliminate one more variable. So, by adding them, 10 minus 10, or minus 10 plus 10 is 0. 6 plus 1, 7. 0 plus 0 is 0. Negative 44 plus 51 is a 7. Now, since I have 2 zeros in my equation, I am very close to finding the first variable. So I need to put the variables back where they belong. So my first variable was my x, y, and z. So by looking at this equation, I've eliminated z and I've eliminated x. So now I have that 7y equals 7. Solve for y, divide both sides by 7. Y equals 1. Now, I need to work with an equation that has only 2 variables. One of them has to be y. Again, I need an equation that has 2 variables. One of them has to be y. So this chart can help me because here I have x and y and no z. So yes, I have a y and one more variable. So I can use this equation and say, okay, 5x minus 3y plus 0 equals 22. Now, we figured out that y is a 1. So I will replace my y and plug in 1. So I'll have 5x minus 3 times 1 equals 22. So 5x minus 3 equals 22. Add 3 to both sides. Then 5x equals 25. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equals 5. Now, once I found 2 of the variables, I can go back to any equation from the original equations, plug in the value of whatever I found, and figure out the third variable. So I can use any of these equations. So I'll use the first one. Okay, so it says 2x, and x is 5. So 2 times 5 minus 5y, y is a 1, plus z equals 5. Now, all I got to do is solve for z. So 2 times 5 is 10, minus 5, plus z equals 5. 5 minus 5 is a 5, plus z equals 5, minus 5, minus 5, z equals 0. So now I found my x, my y, and my z, and the answer should be written in parentheses. You put the x value, comma, the y value, comma, the z value.